So we're talking politics now. Yeah, strictly politics this time around between the former chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. John Oyegun, and the current chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Comrade Oshiomhole. I'm sure that you must have seen before now the squabble playing out on the front pages of newspapers. Only recently, the former chairman said that the current chairman doesn't have the temperament to manage a national party, and that has led to a back and forth between himself and the former chairman. And one would wonder, these are people who are from the same state. What exactly is the bone of contention? With us this morning is Honorable Patrick Ikariale, who is a former member of the House of Representatives. He served in the 6th and 7th Assemblies. And we're also expecting along the way, we hope that he joins us somewhere in this discussion, Mr. Peter Okorafor. But Honorable Patrick Ikariale is here. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you so much, Mokwe.
What exactly is the bone of contention? What is the matter?
Interesting. Well, thank you for your question. And it's a question everybody will want to ask, what is the issue or what is going on? I think it's like somebody did describe, it's like a storm in a teacup.
A storm in a teacup?
Yeah, that's the way I want to see it now, because for all I care, and I've listened to many commentators on this subject matter, both very well-seasoned Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians within and outside politics. It's, I think the whole matter actually generated from the letter that was supposedly written, that was written indeed by the Deputy National Chairman, Not, where he made some very spurious accusations against the National Chairman of the party, Comrade Oshiomhole. And the whole summary of what he was talking about in that letter has to do with the fact that the comrade SY governor of Edo State, now chairman of the party, has missed out one or two things in the course of running the affairs of the party, particularly accusing the chairman of failures in some states across the length and breadth of Nigeria during the immediate past general elections. And to the best of my knowledge, I will say without being immodest here, that that is a very far cry from the reality or the truth. The man has done exceedingly well. He came into the party as the national chairman of the party. It's on record that his assumption of duty was heralded with a huge welcome, because in the first case, he got massive support from all across the length and breadth of the country who are party members. And that is because we all believe in his capacity, his ability to lead the party. And that he has done exactly.
But in recent days, you have been hearing party members, speaking even more vehemently, saying that even before the election, some people were actually afraid that the party was going to split. They felt that the direct and indirect primaries introduced by the chairman did not all go well with some people, and they felt that he wasn't listening, he was too rigid, and he wasn't taking on other opinions on board, and that it cost the party elections in many states. Only recently, you lost Zamfara because of this question of primaries. How do you begin to defend that?
Thank you very much. I think the understanding of the reason behind that will make the issue clearer to the average listener. First and foremost, it is not the party chairman. It is, if you look at the constitution of the party, the APC, it gives room for either direct or indirect primaries. If you go further, the powers of the chairman of the party are well entrenched in that constitution. The chairman, in conjunction with the National Working Committee and the NEC of the party, under his supervision, are given the powers, right, to determine the nature of primaries that will take place. The fact remains that at the time the primaries were very close, people, for obvious reasons, decide to, have blind eyes to the realities on ground. And the chairman believes in what you may call internal democracy. And because of that, he, as much as possible, tried to give opportunity to all concerned to participate in a free and fair primaries.
But even that was selectively done.
The issue was this. We must go back to history of the position of most of the governors. The governors, with due respect to all concerned here, some of them felt that they have become the governor and they are the leader of the party in the state, undermining the fact that when it comes to the issues of primaries, the constitution of the party is very clear that the national body has a lot of role to play in supervising and controlling the affairs of how the primaries are to be conducted. We are living witnesses to the fact that some governors were so heady about the issue of primaries because in their own estimation they have put their mind and fixed their mind on one candidate or the other against the wish of the majority of the people. Of course, the national chairman was saddled with the responsibility of having to resolve issues from one state to the other. Mm-hmm. Many became so heady, and if you look at it, of course, every organization have rules, and you must play to the rules of the game, and there must be leadership. Everything is structured. By the time you start having people acting as demigods, believing that this is my state, I have to take charge of my state, irrespective of whether it's conflicting with the fundamental objectives of the constitution of the party or even the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at large. We had issues like this in so many states. For instance, the letter in question that was written by the Deputy National Chairman North accused the National Chairman of the happenings in Zamfara, the issues in Imo, issues in Rivers, and some other places. I beg to say here that the issues that led to the confusion that came up before and during the primaries in Rivers preceded the assumption of office by the present chairman of the party. He had no control.
But he had a duty to resolve it,
Of course, he has a duty to resolve it, which is, of course, expectedly so, that he did. But what do you do when you have two opposing parties holding on tenaciously, strongly, to the fact that they believe on their own side, and they want to drag the matter to the fullest and want to test the issue legally?
None of those members were suspended. But in Zamfara, when a party member felt aggrieved and took the party up all the way, to the courts of appeal, I think it was the party that took the matter to the Supreme Court, and the party eventually lost, he was suspended. Why did he have to suffer? Some people will say that injustice, when he was the one, who suffered an injustice within the party, according to the court of law, yet he was the one suspended. Meanwhile, in a case like Rivers, where the party was not able to field a candidate, nobody was suspended there.
No, what happened in Rivers and what happened in Zamfara, I think we should not miss up the issue here. The Rivers case, like I said, the issues that led to whatever became the outcome of Rivers' election that APC could not participate in preceded. By that I meant that those issues were already on ground. We already have divided. You've
just admitted here that he had a responsibility to resolve it.
Of course, yes. But I equally told you that having a responsibility to resolve does not mean that he would go beyond the limit of what is available to a human being. And I did mention that we have two opposing views or camps that decide to test their whatever is left for them in the court of law. And in as much as possible, he didn't have that capacity anymore to insist, or it was not an arbiter by way of being a court of law anymore. So they tested it till the end of time. And before you know it, they had run out of time that it was not possible anymore for any of them to field candidates for the elections. The question I asked
is why? How come nobody was suspended for that?
So suspension is not necessarily a panacea to this. You don't use the same answer to answer two separate questions.
Your first response when I asked you about this squabble, you say it's a storm in a teacup. This is a storm in a teacup that people are saying could see the ouster of the current chairman. It's a storm in a teacup that they're asking the president to intervene. It's a storm in a teacup that they're referring to states that you had in Ikiti, which you lost. They're talking about states that you had before, which you lost. I mean, the party lost, and yet you say this is a storm in a teacup.
Well, we are here. We are discussing democracy. This is about democracy. Losing or winning states have so many variables to it, and we just mentioned that those states we lost, most of them were as a result of the fact that people decided to hold on to what they believe they have, which they didn't quite have. Two, the national chairman did everything he could do within the limits of the law. And you find that in the case of Zamfara, for instance, what happens? failure to adhere to the existing principles of party regulations. And before you knew what was going on, time has elapsed. Even when primaries were alleged to have been conducted later, what went to the court? What was it before the court? The court, in its estimation, even though the High Court gave judgment to us as a party, and on the basis of which we went into the election, but the Supreme Court, in its reasoning, felt that before it, there were sufficient evidence to show that the party did not do primaries when they were supposed to so do. And that was not what the National Party chairman could control anymore. The time he had the opportunity to control it, they refused to listen. It just was not the people in charge in that state who felt they were in charge, and they had now the alter ego, forgot that there is a hierarchy of organization within the party that gives the national body, the National Executive Committee, National Working Committee, a say in the affairs of the primaries in respective states.
Let's go to Lagos now and take another perspective. Chamberlain?
Well, we've got Sam Atasia Oburu. He is the National Publicity Secretary of a coalition of APC support groups. He joins us on the line this morning. Good morning, Mr. Atasia Oburu. So let's hear from you. I mean, why does your group want the chairman out? Sam, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
So could you tell us, I mean, why is this feud? Why is your group insisting that the chairman is not handling the party or leading the party right?
All right, now, Chamberlain, thank you for inviting me. I'm so glad to be on air with you today. Like you said, my name is Sam Atasia Oburu.
Go ahead.
Okay, now, the chairman is the national chairman of the party. Now, we have the issues, we have issues on ground from even the convention coming. I expected, or we expected that as the national chairman of the party, he would hit the ground running. He did. But did he run in the right direction? No. Let's take, for example, now, what is the meaning of election? Why do people go into election? They go into election so they can win and they can serve the people. Serve the people, not win and serve yourself. The APC will road to victory on the premise of change. We are expected to start doing the right things the right way the first time. Nigerians voted massively based on the criteria that we were going to come in and change the scenario, the political...
Yes, but Sam, what did he do wrong?
What did he do wrong? Now, let me give you, let's say for example now, what did he do wrong? He did not listen, he did not carry everybody along. 1. 2, he promised to settle those who were aggrieved from the National Convention. He has not done that. 3, hello?
Go ahead, we can hear you, Sam.
3, he has said that, okay, let's take for example, what is the difference, what's happening right now? We have lost several states, at least 6, 7 states that we ought not to have lost. Politics is a win and lose game, yes. But we are the party on ground, we are the ruling party on ground. Nigerians already love us for one thing, we change. They expect change, Nigerians want change. But now you come in and you start doing things as if you're the alpha, the tutti, the capo, the tutti capi. Nobody else's idea matters. Let me give you an example, River State. I'm from River State. Why would a ruling party know that there is an existing court order, a court of competent jurisdiction had given an injunction against a faction of the party? Why would you not respect that court of competent jurisdiction's order and then play according to the one that does not have a court order on it? Let me give you another scenario. You woke up at the beginning at the next meeting, and you said that, let me quote now and unquote. I'm quoting the national chairman. In states like River State, where there are existing litigations, the APC will hold direct primaries. I am quoting him. You should take me to any court of law.
Well,
are you with me?
Sam, let me ask you this,
2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, at the end of this year, he turns around and gives River State that is loaded with litigation in direct primary. Is that not knowing fully well? Is that not creating discord and creating rancor?
Well, Sam, what do you say to this school of thought which believes that your group is being sponsored by perhaps some governors and some others who lost out because they wanted either their persons to be the governor or they wanted to get tickets, but because they didn't get it or because the chairman stuck to his ways, and then they feel that the chairman didn't treat them right.
Chairman, that is totally not true. I have passed the level where anybody can be sponsoring me. The national deputy chairman of the party, the national vice chairman of the party, Shaibu, that is also calling for Oshiomhole's restoration, has passed the level where anybody can sponsor him. I was a former chief press secretary to a governor. I was chief press secretary to Governor Timothy Silva in Bayelsa State. I'm not from Bayelsa. The first CPS2 in Nigeria. I have been in this politics, this APC thing, not for what I can give, but for what I can contribute to the party and the nation.
All right, so one more quick thing, pardon me to jump in. What can be the solution for you? Is it that the chairman must step aside, or he listens, as you say, carry your group along, whatever that means? Will that solve the problem?
The chairman should do the right thing the first time all the time. That's what I'm saying. He should respect democratic institutions. He should respect support groups within the party.
So it's not that your group wants him out?
Well, I will not say that my group wants him out. But since he has not done the right thing, since we have lost 7 states, which is a detriment to us, and we're looking at the big picture. We have won 2019. We're looking at 2023. The way it is now, Oshiomhole and Dr. Oshiomhole cannot deliver for us in 2023. So the earlier he leaves, the better for us, so that we can plan our house together and start a new structure before 2023.
Thank you very much indeed, Sam, for your time.
Thank you very much,
All right, back to you, Makwe.
We still have with us Mr. Honorable Ikare here, and I'm going to read this quote here. He says here, that's the former chairman of the party, says, how would you not have crisis in states with the confusion that Oshiomhole created when he gave the states freedom to choose their methods of picking candidates for elections? Much of the crisis in the state arose out of sheer incapacity on the part of the current chairman. It says, how has this Oshiomhole incapacity become booby traps by Oyegun? Only a bad carpenter quarrels with his tools. I mean, that was what he said about the current chairman.
Who's speaking now?
I mean, the former chairman is the one speaking.
Yeah.
He's talking about why these problems arose. He says it's the style of leadership, which he says is his Agbero style of engagement.
Well, I want to say very clearly here that Oyegun is not known to give in to frivolities. The question you raised there as to the fact that the current national chairman gave room to state chapters to decide which form of primary they were to use. I would say that, you see, I did say that the man we are talking about here believes in the rule, what we call internal democracy. Internal democracy is a fundamental basis. If we have to get our democracy right, we must, be able to achieve that, allowing people to ventilate their, whatever.
Why did the party just stick with one method?
No. The constitution itself of the party, if you look at Article 20, under Article 20 of the Constitution, it allows for either of the two, either direct or indirect. And the difference is...
No, wait a minute. I have to interrupt
the difference is...
We have to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll finish your thoughts. Please stay with us. Honorable Patrick Ikare is still with us in the studios. Our closing moments with him. How do you quickly respond to this? Leading a political party is not the same as leading a trade union or being governor. That's according to Anchor Omodu. These are comments coming in from our viewers. The records of successes of the party under Chief Oyegun speaks for him. This is from Ray Murphy. They believe that, that the chairman is too rigid and that he speaks really strongly. He uses pretty strong words in a situation where you should be trying to gather more people within the party. How do you respond to that?
Anyway, quickly, I will tell you that in labor, you are dealing with human beings. In party politics, you are dealing with human beings.
Yes.
So I do not see what the kind of distinction you are making there.
You don't think your style is different?
No, it's not. See, of course, Comrade Adam Oshiomhole is Comrade Adam Oshiomhole. the SY chairman is Pa Odije Oyegun. They are two different people. And if anybody is expecting that Comrade Adams Oshiomhole was going to come on board and be exactly or 100% Oyegun, then that's a mistake. It's a misplaced thought. In the first case, we already knew, everybody knew that Comrade, in fact, the party APC needed a person of Comrade Adams Oshiomole's personality to actually navigate the murky water of politics, particularly the kind of aggressive politics and politicking that we saw preceding the general elections. I would say that why I use the word a storm in a teacup is because they are just pockets of dissatisfied people. Majority of the people, of the party members, are still with Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, believing in his leadership quality, in his leadership style. For Adams Oshiomole's kind of leadership style, who believes in true democracy, who gave people sufficient grounds as much as possible from his own position to participate and be part of the political process, we would not have been where we are today. APC would have been worse off for it. And I believe very strongly that it's a great disservice for anybody at this point in time to be saying that the comrade governor, the national chairman of the party, has not done well. He has done well to the amazement and jealous of others. He produced the coming back of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under his leadership. And for your information, Marco, only yesterday, we have as many as 28 chapters of chairmen of the party in respective states coming together, giving the comrade governor, the national chairman of the party, their vote of confidence.
Do you think that their endorsement of him is going to resolve this, is going to make this crisis go away?
What you call crisis, like I want to say that you do not have, there's no way you have 100%, even in heaven. And Lucifer did the otherwise. It was not working in tandem with others. So you're not to talk of a political party that is an amalgam of so many people from different backgrounds and diverse.
So you don't think that the crisis is going to go away?
It certainly will go away. That's why I said it's a storm in a teacup. It's just the approach. Of course, when issues like this come up, the tendency is to blow it beyond proportion. But I can assure you that from the workings of the party, relying on the internal mechanisms of the party. Only yesterday, 28 came together of the state chapters to say, we are in comprehensive understanding, we believe what you're doing, we know what you are doing, and we are giving you a vote of confidence. So if you take into consideration that the APC government of today is coming on board the second time, you find that there are so many people who felt they would have been somewhere and not getting to where they want to. When I say so many, in parentheses, some few people in this regard.
I'm afraid that we're totally out of time.
Yes.
But we have to thank you for coming on Sunrise today. We'll see how that squabble progresses, or will it be doused as a result of this endorsement we've seen by the state party chairman? It's a watch in progress. We'll see how the story develops. We've been speaking with Honorable Patrick Ikarale, who is a former member of the House of Representatives. He served in the 6th and 7th Assemblies. That's Sunrise Elite this morning. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sending in your comments as well. And Maukwe Ogun Yusuf is back to the team in Lagos.
Yeah, I'm Chamberlain Uso.
And I'm Ayo Makinde, asking you to have a wonderful weekend.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.